What's good, Chaotic Nation? It's your boy, Chaos here, and today I'm continuing to rank my favorite Pokemon of each type. This list comes from my experiences playing Pokemon throughout the past several years. And the order of this series is based on my least favorite type to my most favorite type, and I will be covering all of the current 18 types. A dual-type Pokemon has the possibility to be considered for both types it has, because if it is one of my favorite Pokemon, I think it's acceptable for it to be on both of those lists, if it applies. And with all that being said, sit back and relax as we dive into the Grass-type Pokemon. Number 10. Cacturne. Cacturne is a rare case when it comes to choosing a favorite Pokemon. I really have no connection to Cacturne since I've never used it in a Let's Play or in the competitive scene, but I really like this Pokemon. The other weird thing about this Pokemon is that I really don't like its pre-evolution Cacnea. I've always seen it as a problem and just kind of Pokemon. What sells Cacturne for me is its design. It's based off a Scarecrow, but it seems a little bit different to me. It kind of reminds me of the old Western Desperados, which I guess is why it has a dark typing. I also really like how it's not a rock or a ground type Pokemon that's found in the desert biome. I think that's really cool that they decided to put a Pokemon that you typically don't associate with sand in the desert. So Cacturne's just really unique to me. Number 9. Ludicolo. How can you not like Ludicolo? I don't know why I liked Mirabee so much in Pokemon Coliseum, but these derpy, duck-looking Pokemon that made up his entire team was always a very interesting concept to me. I liked the typing of Water Grass, 2 of the 3 starter typings, which gives Ludicolo a very interesting niche in the competitive scene and in battles in general. This is also a great mon to put on rain teams since it can abuse its Swift Swim ability to make its speed doubled in rain, which pairs nicely with its good special attack stat and its pretty wide move pool. I've used Ludicolo a few times, and I can say that I've never really had a bad experience with it. So if you're looking for a cool mon to throw in a rain team, try Ludicolo. Number 8. Leafeon. Yeah, I'm a fan of the evolutions because I think they have a cool concept in that Eevee can evolve into multiple different kinds of Pokemon based on the kinds of elements it is given. But so do you, so don't judge me. Leafeon was my favorite evolution when Diamond, Pearl, and Platinum came out, since Grass was my favorite typing back then. But once I started to like some of the other typings more than the Grass type, Leafeon fell down the ranks. It was only when I began to play competitive that Leafeon once again became one of my favorites. I have used it and have seen it used on many Sun teams, and I think it's a really good option for those teams. I know it doesn't have the best move pool, but it's a really cute Pokemon that's well designed most of the time. That's good enough for me. And also, it's really cool to see a cute Pokemon just absolutely cleave through a team. So, yeah, definitely try it out. Number 7. Breloom. We're going back to the Hoenn Grass types, and Breloom became one of my favorites right when I started making content. I have seen it used in several playthroughs at that time, and I really liked it. I found it to be useful and competitive with its great movesets and fun abilities to exploit. And I really haven't used Breloom that much since Makuhita and Hariyama exist, and if you've watched the fighting type video, I like that Pokemon a little bit more, and they just outclass Breloom for me. But I still like Breloom for its unique abilities. It also has a great design, and that's probably the reason I like it most. How can you not like this cute little boy? Like, seriously, come on. Number 6. Phantump. Returning from my favorite ghost type list is this adorable little Pokemon. I love Phantump. It's easily one of the cutest Pokemon out there. And this is a great example of a good concept for an inanimate object Pokemon. The lore behind Phantump is pretty interesting. The Pokemon takes form from being possessed by a child who got lost in the woods and died. I remember exploring through Kalos and finding this Pokemon, and I instantly put it on my team. And while Trevenant wasn't a great member of my team, I still enjoyed using Phantump, and it instantly became a Pokemon that was one of my favorites. Designs don't come much better than Phantump, and so that's why I really like it. Number 5. Shaymin. I do prefer the regular Shaymin to the Shaymin Sky form, but to each their own. I really like hedgehogs, as can be seen by my love of the Sonic franchise, which instantly made me enjoy Shaymin when I knew it was around in Generation 4. This adorable little shrub is the main reason I got an action replay, so that I could easily find it and have Shaymin to use throughout my playthrough and throughout my time running through the Sinnoh region. I have used Shaymin in Draft League before, and it's actually pretty viable. It has great stats across the board, and Seed Flare is a very powerful move that is a lot of fun to use. I ran this thing with several variations since it's basically a Pokemon that can be molded to fit the rest of your team. Since most of the mythical Pokemons have 100 base stats in every stat, it's pretty simple just to manipulate it based on what you need it to do. I really like this Pokemon, and it also is my favorite mythical Pokemon. Number 4, Rowlet. I was 100% Team Rowlet when Pokemon Sun and Moon came out. Rowlet was a lot of fun to use, and it absolutely is adorable. If you've watched my previous installments of this series, you know that owls are some of my favorite animals in the world. So it was an easy choice for me to select this little cute boy as my Gen 7 starter. I like the lore behind its evolutionary lines as well, and that goes back to my theory craft egg. It's just a really interesting Pokemon to take a look at. Of what I have watched of the Pokemon Sun and Moon anime, Rowlet became instantly my favorite member of Ash's team, and I really like how he has a little spot in Ash's backpack to kind of chill and vibe. Also, it's really cute when he's sleeping. This is a really good design, and I hope I can use it more down the road throughout my content, or even in draft leagues or competitive down the road. Number 3, Grovyle. I like the grass starters a lot, and Grovyle just edges Rowlet out for this position on the list. Grovyle is the perfect middle stage evolutionary design. It honestly just looks incredibly cool. And anytime somebody asks me, hey, what's the best middle stage evolution Pokemon? Grovyle's the first name that comes across my mind. Trico was my first starting Pokemon in Hoenn, and it has stuck with me over the past few years. Probably the moment that solidified Grovyle for me as one of my favorites was its story in the Mystery Dungeon games. Grovyle plays a very interesting role as the Time Thief, and I think they picked a really solid Pokemon just to play the role, and that was the Mystery Dungeon game I played the most, so it really had an impact on me. Number 2, Tangela, or as I like to call it, Tangela. You should have seen this coming. I have no idea why I like this thing so much. I first used Tangela in competitive, and that's probably the only place it should be used since it's a basic Pokemon that doesn't really do much and usually is found late in the game. During the Showdown Live series that I did, I started using Tangela more and more. It became one of my favorite gimmicks to run in the lower tiers. Eevee-like Tangela is actually pretty busted, and it's really hard to deal with if you don't prepare for it. I also had a pretty good shiny of it, and I just love this Pokemon for being a tumbleweed and just a mess, and it's amazing. Finally, number 1, Vileplume. For Kanto being my first region and Oddish being my first shiny Pokemon ever, it took some time for Vileplume to ascend to this point of the list. I did really like Erica's Vileplume, and it was one of my favorite TCG cards that I had as a kid. I never really considered Vileplume as an option since Venusaur existed, and since I really only used fire types on my early playthroughs of the Kanto games, I didn't really have room for Vileplume. But what really sold Vileplume to me was its role that it played in my Sword Surprise Lock at the very beginning of 2020. Vileplume was the first one of my encounters, and it was the MVP of my team throughout the entire playthrough. Several times throughout the playthrough, Vileplume put the team on its back and carried us through. I was forever thankful that I chose Vileplume over Grookey, because I'd already used a Grookey since it was my original starter in Sword and Shield. But since then, I have started to use Vileplume a bit more in competitive teams, and I really like it. And it really has started to solidify itself as one of my overall favorite Pokemon of all time. Thanks for watching, and I hope you enjoyed my favorite grass types. Let me know what your favorite grass types are in the comment section below. If you enjoyed, make sure you leave a like and subscribe to help out the channel in YouTube's ever-changing algorithm. Feel free to check me out on other platforms as well, such as Twitter, Discord, and Twitch for live series and content. Thanks for watching, and until next time, I'm Chaos, signing off. Stay safe, and as always, burn it up.